Hello and welcome to Programming Rush. In this tutorial, we are going to learn that what is Flutter, how to build apps using Flutter, and also see the code base. Okay, so first of all, what is Flutter? Flutter is a cross-platform framework, and that means that we are using a single code base to get application in different operating systems such as Windows, Android, iOS, Linux, macOS, anything. Okay, and Flutter also provides a huge library of widgets which we are going to see in future videos, and we can create a full responsive app uh, such as for laptop, mobile, anything, and the UI will be consistent. Okay, and also the Flutter is a very robust and powerful framework, and it is very flexible as well. And also it uses native, it converts the code or produces the final code into the native platform, and that helps to make the applications faster. And if that sounds interesting, let's get started with installation. You can go to docs.flutter.dev, get started install in this link. You will also get this link in the description below. And here you can see that there are 4 operating systems that Flutter supports, that is Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and Chrome OS. If you go on to the Windows, like I'm using Windows, you can see the system requirements. Needs very basic system requirements, but 4 GB RAM is at least required for it, and also a little bit disk storage. Okay, but these are the very basic requirements that every system currently have. Now you can follow this tutorial given in this link. I will post the link in the description, and you can follow this one. And I'm going to show this command, that where flutter.dart, and it will give this link, like I'm showing it, where flutter dart. Okay, I think I need to create a command from where flutter dart. Okay, so you can see that I'm getting all the links. Now there is another command, if you go a little down, that run flutter doctor. What it does, it checks the complete setup. Okay, to see there are all the dependencies okay on. If you run that like a flutter doctor, you will see the doctor is some doctor summary, and all the tests has been passed. There are 3 connected devices as well, you can see. Okay, so what is that? You can also follow these things to check any error if occurred, and you can also mention in the comments below, and you can ask me that if you face any error. Okay, these are all the setups. And then what we can do, we can also check the devices connected with it. So what is the command? You run flutter devices. Okay, just this much, and it will show the connected devices. The last 2 are the web one, that is Google Chrome, this one, and another is the Edge. And another Android device that is connected is Redmi 4A, that is my personal device. I've connected to my PC. So this was the very basic thing that we need to know for Flutter. Now let us come back to our folder where we are going to create our project. And to create a project, we first of all open the terminal in the required directory, like I opened in the C users, this name, username, OneDrive documents, Flutter playlist. Okay, I am maintaining this playlist for the Flutter tutorials. So to create a project, what you need to do, first of all write Flutter. Okay, and then you need to write Flutter create. So this is the first 2 keywords, and then you need to mention the project name, such as to do, or calculator, or chat app. Okay, but we are going to name it simply like a tutorial 1. And now it is going to create a project for under the name of tutorial 1, like you can see here, and all the things has been installed, and you can use the Flutter run to run the code. But I'm going to use the VS Code editor for this purpose to run my code, because there are lots of extensions are installed here. So I'm going to open it with code. First of all, I use the awesome Flutter snippets. Okay, that is a very good one, because we can get many boilerplate codes with short commands. Then another thing that we need is this Dart. Okay, this is need to be installed. It is required one. Then Dart data class generator. This will you need in the future purpose. And then you need this Flutter plugin or extension. Okay, so these are the plugins or extensions that we need to know. Let's have a look in the project structure. We have first of all a folder called .dart tool, that is not much required. .dart tool .idea. What we need to know is this Android one. Okay, and based on your installation and modification, you can also have that iOS, Windows, Linux, those things, but I have turned them off because I don't need all this one. I just use the web and the Android one. In the Android, you will get the whole code. If you know Android Studio, you will get this type of code that is placed here. Okay, and then we have the lib, where the Dart code is placed. Okay, we are going to perform all our actions, the major actions, in this folder. Then we have the test folder. We perform the testing on our application using this folder code. We place all the testing code under this folder. Then we have the web. Again, this is the folder used for generation of code for the web. Okay, then we have .git ignore, that is for the GitHub purpose. .metadata not required. .analysis options not required. Subscript.log, it is not required by you, but it is required for it is that means it is linked to the perspec.yaml. But what we need to know is this perspec.yaml. First of all, let's have a look in it. It's first says the tutorial 1 as name. Okay, we provided this name when creating the project, and it creates the file like this. And this perspec.yaml also maintains the plugins that we need. As you can see that under dependencies, we mention our plugins that we require. Okay, we are also going to know much more about plugins in a video later. We are going to see, like Cupertino icons. This is a plugin that is being installed by default in this perspec.yaml. Okay, then we have a readme file, and then this is another .iml file. These are not required, but what we require most is the main.dart file under the lib folder. So let us have a look that what this code does. First of all, it imports the material.dart. Okay, so there are major two packages, that is the material.dart and another is cupertino.dart. Like if you write here package flutter cupertino.dart. So what is the difference between these two? Okay, let's put a semicolon here. So what is the difference between these two? So for material, this is the styling of Android apps. You will see different styles for Android and iOS, and the difference is because of this two. They maintain a standard styling for iOS devices and material devices, that is Android devices. And the material has these things like Android type. If you go in the description, it uses the material design which is commonly found in Android apps. Okay, and if you check in the Cupertino, it is current iOS design. This is the thing for Cupertino. Okay, this is a very basic thing that we can know. Then first of all, the first function that the Flutter runs is the main function. Okay, like any other programming language, we have the main function that is run first. Inside the main function, we have a function called run. what it does, it inflates the given widget and attach it to the screen. Okay, so we have the run app function which runs this main function. For the simplicity, we have a widget that is run by the run app. So whatever function that the my app run app calls, it has been run first. Okay, and for this purpose, the my app is being called. And now Flutter by default provides a huge boilerplate code that is very, first of all, very much I think overwhelming, but it also provides a overview of what the code does. But for the simplicity, we are going to just remove. We are going to keep this class myapp stateless widget. Okay, we are going to keep that one. And under that, my home, starting from the my home page, we are going to delete all the code. And why did we do that? The reason is because explaining that whole code, first of all, for a beginner would be like too much fun. Okay, so instead, what we are going to do, we are going to write our own code here. So follow along with me and see what I'm writing. First of all, I'm providing scaffold. Okay, let's learn what is a scaffold. Scaffold is a means you know that in applications, like if you see here, this is the thing that scaffold, normally a screen is up to this mark, that we have the status bar, this camera, and under that main application starts. You never find this back screen here or this icon here. Okay, so under the status bar, the scaffold starts and ends at the bottom part. Okay, up to the navigation bar, and again the things change. This is the thing that a scaffold, this is the difference. And what the material app is, material app is the whole screen that the Flutter has access to. Okay, so this is the very big difference of this scaffold and material app. Also you can provide the title thing, then the colors things, that are also okay, but the basic difference is this one. Then we have got the app bar. App bar is the top bar that you see generally in the application. Like if I need to show you an example, as you can see here, there is a top bar which mentions the title, button here, the text here, it is a button type looking, and there is a back button. So this part is known as the app bar. Okay, and below that we have all our other widgets or the components attached. If I now create here an app bar, like first of all, app bar is not required here. So we can provide here a title, and you can see that here is a text, and to create a text in Flutter we just need to mention a text like this. This is a widget, text widget. We can mention the data like first Flutter app, very simple thing like now. And also this is saying to mention it const, because this is a constant thing, right? So it is for the purpose of looking good that we can mention it. Then this is the app bar. Next comes us the body part. Which is the body part? Body part is, as I said, this is the app bar, then the rest part is the body part. Okay, and for the body part, we are just doing here. First of all, what we want, we are not going to create this whole thing at once. Rather, what we're going to do, we will have a screen like this, an app bar with title, and the center I'm going to place some text. Okay, and so for that I'm just writing a center. Okay, and inside that, what Flutter generally root follows like a root like thing. Okay, so a widget has a child, then that widget has another child, and this whole tree goes on. If you have a basic experience with any other framework like React, you might have saw that thing, that we get a very long tree, chain of trees and components. And this is nothing bad, but sometimes we need to make the code simple to look. But in simple words, it follows like a widget inside a widget inside a widget. Even this is a widget. Okay, the my app that the run app calls is a widget. So inside that, now center widget, we are going to create another text widget, and I'm going to say here welcome to programming dash. You can give any code here, that is not required, that is not mandatory to write this thing. Okay, and this is a very basic code that you have understood till now. And here is the title. We are going to replace it with this string. And I think I have made everything clear till now. And if you have any doubts, you can just write in the comments below. Also, Flutter has a default styling like things, so you can just provide commas and the code will look pretty. Now the time comes to build the code. So what you can do, you can, if you are in the VS Code or Android Studio, you can just use these shortcuts, or instead you can open up the command prompt and just write flutter run. But I generally follow this one, like using this. So I'm just starting the debugging process. So here is our app up and running, and as you can see, we have the app bar first of all, like written first Flutter app, first Flutter app. Then also we have in the center that we have used the center function, center widget. The center widget does nothing but places all the contents to the center of screen. It automatically measures the height and width. Inside under the app bar, it uses this height, divides it by 2, and then places the code in the center. Simple calculation it does. And then we also get this text widget inside the center widget. And that was the very basic thing that we did. Okay, so now this was the very basic thing. We don't have any interaction features, and we also don't have that back button. The reason is because we are using a single page and that does not show any functionality. This was a very basic tutorial of Flutter, and you can also use this hot reload feature. Okay, so what that does is, and I want to change the text like I want to eat cake, pastry, pasta. Okay, and I'm going to save this file. Now the VS Code has a functionality, it automatically reloads. And the Flutter, what it does, it has a hot reload feature, and does the instant changes, like the text change you saw. I have not reinstalled the app, not rebuild the app. It is done automatically. And if you go into the debug console, you can see that reloaded one of 640 libraries. And hence this was a very basic tutorial. Thank you for watching this video. In the next video we are going to explore furthermore the Flutter